Wrestling Q&A up in Millersville, Maryland at the ACW towards the cage fight before Christmas. I'm here with my guest at the time, Kacee Carlisle. So how's been your year of 2013 in pro wrestling?
It's been fantastic. It's been busy. It's been fun. It's been busy. But you know, I've gotten to wrestle in new places. I've gotten to wrestle new people, wrestle for new companies. Of course, I'm still defending the NWA women's title as well. So it's been a really good year.
How about a PWI?
So,
And the PWI.
Oh yeah. So how is it being noticed by the Pro Wrestling Illustrated?
It's a very nice compliment. It's flattering, it's humbling. There's so many women, that they could choose from every time they do any type of ranking or rating or anything like that. So to be recognized at all, it's really cool, and it's very much an honor. I'm so sorry, I have a nap. But it's really cool. Like I'm completely flattered by it. And it's a really good feeling to, when you're out there working so hard and doing everything you can, especially at the independent level, to get your name out there, to keep your name out there. It's cool. It's a really good feeling. I'm really privileged for it.
So what has been some of your biggest highlights of 2013?
My biggest highlights have been, as I said, I've gotten to travel a little bit more extensively than I was before. A lot of that has to do with the NWA title, defending that in other areas. Just getting to travel to new places. The rating in the magazine, like you mentioned, has been the highlight. I've had some matches this year that I've really felt good about and really enjoyed, and I felt like that they were decent matches. So, I'm just kind of taking it all in, and I'm a very big believer in not taking anything for granted and not just expecting things or anything like that. So I'm so appreciative of every opportunity, of every match I have. I'm just kind of riding the wave while I can and seeing how far it takes me.
Didn't you work a dark match at TNA Impact?
I had a dark match with them prior to one of their house shows, and that was in Fayetteville, North Carolina, back in February of this year. I worked a girl from down in that area named Mia Svensson, and it was a really fantastic experience. It was fun, first of all, but it was really great to be on that level that most people striving to be on, and to get the feedback from people, to have people who are in a place where perhaps you want to be, to watch your match, to give you feedback, to give you advice. That's a really positive thing and something that I'm very grateful for. But it was a fantastic opportunity, and it was fun. I enjoyed doing it.
So did TNA look at that as a possible call up for you, or?
I suppose that they could have. Yeah, I'm sure that they watched it. Of course, it got sent to the office and they reviewed it. Obviously I haven't gotten there, so nothing's come of it as yet. But the way the wrestling business works, that could happen. That happened in February, and maybe next June or something I get a call. You just never ever know. It all depends on what their needs are at any given time and what they're looking for. So it's not always a matter of, yay, you had a really spectacular match, we're going to sign you. It's also a matter of, do we have a spot we need to fill, and are you a necessity? Obviously with TNA lately, they've been scaling back their payroll and they've been making some changes. So, I don't expect them to bring in any frivolous signings or anything like that they don't think they have a use for. But like I said, you never know where you're going to go in this business.
So, how many title wins have you won as of 2013?
How many different titles?
Yes.
Just this year?
Mm-hmm.
Let me think. Well, there's been a couple. I'm trying to think of what they are. I regained, maybe that was December. My brain is getting fuzzier the older I get, the more bumps I take. I regained the ACW title, which, as you can see tonight, I still have. I regained the GXW title down in Richmond and have subsequently lost that. I picked up a championship down in North Carolina, which was SWA. I regained a BWF title, which is in Virginia as well. So there have been a few that I've picked up, and it's kind of a revolving door, so to speak. I'm forgetting some, I know, and I feel like a jerk, so I'm sorry.
So out of all the wrestling federations that you work for, where has...
The Elite title! I won the Elite, sorry, the Elite Wrestling. I knew I was forgetting one that I wanted to mention. I won the Elite Pro Wrestling Alliance. Just introduced their women's title earlier this year, and I was lucky enough to win that. That was the other one.
So out of all the wrestling federations you work for, where's been like the best federation you wrestled for that's helped you develop your wrestling ability?
Oh, geez. You know, I can't honestly pinpoint one promotion that has, just because there's so many that I work for. You know, and I'm not really what you would call like a regular per se at any one promotion. Meaning, like, I don't have like a home promotion. I don't have one promotion that I work for all the time that's building me this way or that way. You know, I gain experience and knowledge and growth from every match. That's always my goal, is, you know, go out there, always, you know, give the most that I have to give, always try to, you know, get something from the match, learn something, teach something, whatever the case may be. So I don't look at it as like promotions that are, you know, like this promotion, like, oh, I learned this. It's matches for me. It's my individual matches that I try to grow from and learn from, and you know, look at it that way.
So how does the crowds differ from the Maryland crowd?
You know, crowds are funny because you can go to one area and you could have a crowd that loves all of the high-flying, big, you know, spots that you see in some of the promotions that are out there, and then you could go to another town 2 hours away, and their crowd is so old school and all about just like the wrestling and the good guy versus the bad guy, and you know, like, they don't like seeing guys do 450 splashes and hurricanranas. They like seeing the headlock takeovers and, you know, a nice solid punch or kick. So, you know, to me it's very important to kind of know the crowd, get a feel for the crowd. If you've never worked there before, try to watch some matches before yours to get a feel for them. Because, you know, ultimately, obviously, the goal should be to entertain the fans that are there and make them want to come back to see you again, or make them want to become a fan of you, and, you know, like, keep track of your career. So I think it's important to try to get a feel for the fans you're in front of, and not necessarily modify your style to please them, but just understand the crowd you're working in front of. If it's a crowd full of kids, then I'm probably going to work a slightly different style than a crowd that's full of, you know, like it's in a bar, for example. It's just a little different feel. So it all depends, you know, different areas, different strokes for different crowds.
So in the year 2013, what has been your most physical match you've competed in?
Oh boy. My matches are all typically pretty physical. I had a match here at ACW about a month and a half, 2 months ago that was a weapons match, and that was the first weapons match. It was billed as a street fight, but it was more of a weapons. That was the first weapons or hardcore type style match that I was ever part of, and that was pretty physical. You know, getting hit with various objects that aren't part of your typical wrestling match. You know, I'm used to clotheslines or you know, drop kicks and things like that, but when you replace that with a keyboard and you know, like a cookie pan or cookie sheet, it's a little different. Physicality, you know, that's part of it. That was probably the most physical one in that respect.
I know I've asked you this before, but if they made a movie about Kacee Carlisle, what actors could play you? What would the title be?
Oh man, I suck at questions like this. The title would. That's a good question. What do you think it should be?
Well, if it was, maybe Ride the Lightning.
That's a good. It would be Ride the Lightning. That would be the title of the movie. As far as who to play me, that's a good question.
I'd say maybe Lauren Graham. Have you ever seen Gilmore Girls or Bad Sam?
Oh, yes. My niece loves that show.
You kind of look like her.
Thank you. I'll take that as well. Yeah, that sounds good. We're going to go with that. That's a good choice.
Yeah, 50 seconds left.
Okay. So this concludes the interview with the second interview with Kacee Carlisle, Best Diva in ACW today. Jason Hevel, Indie Wrestling Q&A. Check out for more upcoming videos. Check out her website, www.kaceecarlisle.com. Buy some pictures, come see her matches, and just enjoy independent wrestling.